Hi, I'm Chris. Welcome back to the channel where today we are going to be ranking all the 17-inch limited edition dolls from Sleeping Beauty. Before we get started, I do want to give an update. My Patreon is still on and I'm still trying to do all my Design Doctor stuff. However, the reason I've kind of also been MIA on YouTube for the 3 people that care, I have gotten really busy. The film that I had started last summer is now actually going into production and we are going to be shooting later on this summer. So my busyness will be focused on that more than YouTube. I will try my best to try to get videos out and to try to do my Design Doctor stuff and my doll rankings. So I am sorry, but you know, this is a very big thing. This is my first full-length film, so I gotta do it. I'm very excited and I still like to do this stuff, but I also need to do real world things as well. So it's going to be anything that was a 17-inch doll from the Disney store that was limited edition. I'm not going to talk about quickly the Harrods set that came out because it's essentially the 2 of the dolls that existed just in a package together, but I do have to say that it was very beautiful packaging. There are 10 dolls in this ranking, so let us go with number 10. For me, the worst doll was the 65th anniversary Sleeping Beauty doll that came out last year. And this is my thing. I am not a fan of when people, and this is going to be ironic if you knew me as Princess Chris cosplay, but I really don't like when people do half pink, half blue things for Aurora because you have to be able to sell it to me super well for it to come out well. And I understand that this is apparently supposed to be based on some of Mark Davis's concept art for Princess Aurora, but it just looks really sloppy. I hate the weird in-between pink and blue fabric that's on here. They try to do this in Disneyland in the Magic Happens parade, and I hate this dress, and I'm so sorry to any Princess Aurora cosplayer that has done this and thinks that they look good in this fabric that shines pink, but then blue on an axis, because it's just not, it's not flattering on any human being, on any doll. I think it's the ugliest thing I've ever seen for Princess Aurora. And it doesn't work with the concept of how she changes from pink to blue. I think this could have been done with lights. I think this could have been done with projection. Whatever, I know it's a day parade, but there are other things than this fabric that it looks tie-dye and it doesn't look good, and it does not look like when the 2 colors smash together in the movie. No, I'm sorry, this is bad, and this doll is bad. I will never defend it.
That's my opinion!
I will say I do like the packaging, and I think that the packaging is the only real successful thing about this doll besides her mug. I did a design of how I would have done the 65th anniversary doll, and it was more about, Ivan Earl and his art and his designs. This is a doodle of it. That's what I wish they did because that was the thing that they were doing for anniversary dolls, but whatever. That's what we got. It's the worst. Goodbye. So number 9 was kind of an odd release, and it seemed like it kind of just existed because they already had the 60th anniversary for Disneyland doll that came out, and it's this pink Aurora with gloves, and it's kind of fine and not really worth noting, actually. So I think we're just gonna move forward to the next one. The doll we just talked about before, there was a 60th for the Diamond Celebration of Disneyland anniversary doll of Aurora. I talked about it briefly in my Cinderella video. Do I think the design is good? Not really, no. I mean, it's literally just her dress, but with gloves as opposed to sleeves. And silver jewelry. I understand the silver jewelry because it is a diamond celebration. I think that works better for the concept that they're going for the Disneyland 60th anniversary. So I can appreciate that. I just think it's fine. I think I would like it better if it was a little more different. But I think also if you're a big Disneyland fan and if you were around for the 60th anniversary, why not have this? It's, it's commemorative. Next up is, shockingly, also our only limited edition doll of Maleficent in general, which is kind of weird because Maleficent is usually seen as the best Disney villain of all time. So the fact that this is the only one we got. And maybe that's why I rank it as low as I did at number 7, is because it is like, this is the only one we got. I think that it's fine and it does the job. It is a good doll. I just sometimes wish that they did other things with her design. It's very like generically Maleficent. Also, are you shocked that they never did a live action Maleficent limited edition doll? They do them for the other movies, but they never did it for Maleficent. I wonder if like in Angelina Jolie's contract or something they said they could. I don't even know why I care. I actually hate the movie Maleficent. It really, really annoys me. I think it's very offensive to women. I think that it's offensive to the story. Like, here's the thing. Wicked did this, and Wicked did this extremely well. And I am not really a fan of trying to redeem villains or, give them tragic backstories to make them, unique in a way. There are real evil women in this world, and I think we should accept that sometimes women, and fictional women especially, can just be these fabulous evil people. She's literally the mistress of all evil. So let her be. Next, we have the first 17-inch limited edition doll of Aurora. It came in 2 different colors, so we're going to talk about blue first. Now, I don't know if I really like the blues that they chose for this. I would love if I was like sat down with the designers and say, like, they told me like it would be like the exact hue counterpart to the pinks that they chose, because it seems like they designed the pink first and then the blue. That's kind of how I took it. And I know there's a lot of people that are team blue. I'm team pink, but I do think that the costume design of this doll is very, very beautiful. I really like it. I just prefer pink. We're literally going to talk about it right now. In case you couldn't tell, I filmed all the stuff wearing pink first and then wearing blue. So if it's sloppy, sorry, I don't have a script. Maybe I should start having a script. So number 5 is, I think, the better version of this, and it's the pink Aurora. I just feel that the color of the pink is better than the blue of the pink that they did. I think they're both beautiful dolls. I think with the gold details and everything, it just works better in pink. I am very, very team pink, by the way, for Princess Aurora. When you look at her with the Disney princesses, I know there's a lot of people that will fight me and be like, well, she should be in her blue dress more. Yes, I've watched every video about marketing for Disney princesses, and I do understand. But for me, if we're really going to fight about it, the dress was always supposed to be pink. Flora, who is the leader of the 3 good fairies, literally said, no, we're doing this pink. Flora is definitely a Virgo, by the way. Like, yes, blue is my favorite color, but also there's so much saturation of blue in Disney characters with blonde hair that I think we should be able to let go and give Aurora a pink dress. Number 4, we have the Prince Phillip doll. I actually really think this is one of the better male dolls of the limited edition dolls. His costume, I think, is really, really well embroidered. I just think, like, out of any of the princes from Disney, he is like the classic, like the prince saving the princess from the dragon with a sword and the shield. To me, in general, Maleficent and Prince Philip were more principal characters than Aurora ever was. But I get it. She's the pretty princess with the blonde hair and the crown. So, make more dolls of her. At number 3, very shockingly, the fact that I put this so high, but I think that the overall design of it is actually really great. I usually don't have high hopes for like the park exclusive dolls, but this recent 70th anniversary Disneyland Aurora doll, I think, is actually a really, really nice design. I think she looks quite lovely. I love that it's very, very, very light, and it's got like a subtle little gradient. It does what the 65th anniversary Princess Aurora doll couldn't do for some reason. And the packaging at first, I was like, I don't know if I love it, but then it kind of gave me like a little bit of nostalgia of like the idea of Fantasyland in Disneyland and like a theme park. So I think this works for celebrating Disneyland. So at number 2 is what I think a lot of the collectors will say is the best Aurora doll, and it's her as Briar Rose. I do really like this, and actually, like, because if you were to ask me like what's like the most iconic thing about Sleeping Beauty, it's actually when she walks through the woods as Briar Rose. She's singing around the trees and talking to the squirrels and the birds and the rabbits and the owl. I really like that they did different colors. Do I wish that we could have seen this with like the real colors in the film? Sure, but like part of design is taking it and making something new out of it. And I like the choices that they made for this. I think she looks very, very exquisite. I think this is just one of the great ones for her. There's something very like fantasy and ethereal about it, and I think that it really does work for her as a character. And to me, the best Sleeping Beauty limited edition doll was the Platinum Wedding Set from 2019. This is one that, it doesn't exist in the film at all, but that's part of the reason why I like it. It is the concept of what would her wedding dress look like? The design of it is so well done. I mean, I don't think her dress like would usually be that um voluminous, but I think it works for the doll. And I think Prince Philip looks really good here too. And the packaging is very beautiful. This is one I will never buy this because it costs so much money. But if I cared that much about Sleeping Beauty as opposed to Beauty and the Beast or Little Mermaid, which are my two favorites, I would definitely try to get this set. It is exquisite. It's maybe one of the best limited edition dolls ever to be made. There we go. That was every limited edition Sleeping Beauty doll as of now ranked. What is your favorite of them? Comment below. Also, are you Team Pink or Team Blue? Comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out my Patreon and everything else.